Welcome to Chapter 13 of Essentials of Healthcare Finance, Strategic Financial Planning. This chapter will give an appreciation for the relationship between strategic planning and financial planning. They are highly interrelated and should be conducted jointly. The planning control cycle has four major components: strategic planning, implementing, and controlling. The purpose of strategic planning is to identify the organization's mission and strategy in order to position the organization for the future. A major activity of the strategic planning process is an assessment of the organization's external and internal environments. Whereas the organization's strategic planning process has a long-term focus, it also develops shorter-term tactical and operational plans that are more specific and identify short-term goals and objectives in more detail in regard to marketing, production, control, and financing the organization. The learning objectives are to describe the relationship between financial planning and strategic planning, to list and describe the key financial policy targets for which the board is responsible, list and describe the 10 requirements for effective financial planning and policy making, explain the 4 steps involved in the development of a financial plan, and explain how management control is used in conjunction with the financial plan. The strategic planning process integrates financial policy with financial planning. It moves away from facilities planning to market-oriented planning. And there are 2 steps in strategic planning: the statement of mission and/or goals, and the development of a set of programs to meet goals. The integration of strategic and financial planning. The strategic planning should precede financial planning. So both strategic planning and financial planning are the primary responsibilities of the board. Figure 13.1 shows the integration of strategic and financial planning. Strategic planning being at the top and working your way through the steps through financial planning, overall management control. The key financial policy targets to be established by the Board of Directors are the growth rate in assets, the debt policy, and the profitability objective, what the return on equity is. The balance sheet is used to describe key financial policy targets. A financial plan can be considered as the bridge between the current balance sheet and the balance sheet of some future date. And the growth rate equals the growth rate in assets. Debt capacity equals a change in current and long-term liabilities, whereas the profitability objective equals a change in equity. The 10 requirements for effective financial policy making: 1. Ensure there's a good accounting system. 2. No growth does not imply zero growth rate. And 3. Working capital needs to be considered. 4. Funds for future investment are critical. 5. Formally define debt capacity ceiling. And 6. The program selection criteria to include a return on investment. Continuing on, 7. Non-operating sources of equity should be included. 8. Financial plan must be integrated with management control systems. 9. The financial plan should be updated at least annually. And 10. The financial plan should be formally approved by the board. So step 1 in developing the financial plan is to assess the present financial position. Review prior financial statements for the past 3 to 5 years and perform financial evaluation using ratio analysis. What is the profitability? What is the cash position? Is there an ability to assume long-term debt? Is there a need for updating plant and equipment? And what are the investment reserves? Step 2 is to define growth rate in assets, to project revenues, project expenses, project non-operating gains, and project assets. And remember, when projecting revenue and expenses, 2 components are involved: price and intensity. Step 3 is to define the debt policy, current liabilities, and long-term debt. Step 4 is to assess reasonableness of required equity growth. Can we actually achieve the results currently projected, or are our assumptions realistic? Are the financial results projected acceptable Or are we satisfied with the current projected financial performance? And lastly, integrate into management control process for continued evaluation.